question is, what do you do when you get a complaint? What do you do? I say, my personal philosophy is you fix it. Yes. You can delete the post. You can do that because it's your page. But let me share an experience. We have a friend in Columbus, Ohio who works at the airport at flight safety. So they do training. Well, he called us up one day and said, there's this food truck here that's really cool. It was called the Pickled Swine sandwich truck. And so we go there, you know, it's like, this is cool, he's a friend, and they were really good sandwiches. But while we're there and they're making the sandwiches, the guy who was taking the money was making the sandwiches without gloves. And to mainly women, that's an issue, right, ladies? And men too, but mainly it's the women that pick up on it. My wife picked up on it. So we go home, she gets on their page, and she posts, great sandwiches, fantastic food truck. However, I wish they'd worn gloves. Well, guess what the guy did?
Wearing gloves.
No, well, let's not get that far, but you're right. But what did he do when he saw that post?
Thank you for the information. I'll wear gloves. Start wearing gloves.
You wish.
He got defensive.
He deleted it. Oh, now, what does a woman do when she's spurned? Yeah. So you make a woman mad, and she's going to go viral on you.
It depends upon who's the person kicking you off, who's the person that called you. Are you doing the work inside or outside? Especially condos. Condos are always so tricky because everybody's like this. It's not me. It's they shouldn't have paid. You know, it's always like that. And I had these before where there's a flood on the 5th floor, and it floods all the condos on the 4th floor. And so the condo association calls out my guys and go draw out all of these. And they go knock on the door and get a contract from a few of the people and don't get them from other ones. Guess what? You're not getting paid on those other ones. You need a contract. If there's 10 units on that floor, you better have 10 contracts. Without an assignment of benefits, if you just have a direction to pay and you have a contract with a homeowner and you go sue the insurance company, you'll get kicked right out of court. You don't have any standing. It's not your claim anymore. It's not your claim. Your claim is against the homeowner. Unless they give you that benefit and they're right under their policy, then you have a legal standing. So that one document changes your whole world. Has anyone been through peer review? Where, surprise, surprise, it's almost as if they don't really go through the bill, that they just automatically take 20% off whatever you charge. Pop quiz. Should everybody have an assignment? Yes. Yes. Shout it right out. Yes. You can use ours for free. Can you charge more than Xactimate? Yes. Of course. That's just a guide. It's not the Holy Bible.
I am probably the nicest, most reasonable adjuster you'll ever meet, and I am the hardest, most critical of the industry. So it's going to be difficult for Harvey and I to argue or to take opposing sides because we might be on the same side. But I tell folks that I talk about the nitty-gritty, the real stuff, okay? I'm not going to tell you if you just devote yourself to customer service and keeping the policyholder happy and all that kind of baloney. You can read that in the trade papers. I'm here to talk to you about the nitty-gritty, the real world. This is the guy that stays up at night worrying that there's a storm off the coast of the eastern seaboard. This is the guy that thinks, oh my God, we got 10,000 policies in Charleston, South Carolina. You know, what are we going to do? This is the guy that worries about the bottom line, the numbers. He doesn't want to sell insurance to anybody. Okay, he's afraid of everybody. And he's the guy that says, well, yeah, they were a policyholder for 30 years and we collected $5 grand a year for 30 years. How much is that? But they got a claim for $1 million. Who's making out on that deal? And this is the way these guys think. And they don't want to sell insurance to anybody. And once you've had a claim, they don't want you back anymore. Of course, they're forced to take you back. But one little thing, I'll tell you, when you make a claim with an insurance company, your name goes on a hit list, okay? And if you get 2 claims, statistically, you are exponentially bound to probably have a 3rd claim. And they know that. The actuaries know that. So you get your name on that list. You've had 2 claims. Now there's people looking at you and watching. You get a 3rd claim, and that's not a hard, fast rule, but generally speaking, it's true. They're watching you if you're a claim maker. They want policyholders that don't make claims. All right. So now, But occasionally, you know, you're out there saying you're in good hands, and we're like a good neighbor, so you do have a loss, and it comes in and gets reported. All right. So as the all-loving rainmaker brought it in, the underwriter's sitting there biting his nails whether you're going to have a loss or not, and the claim gets assigned to this guy. This is hardball now. And like Billy Joel. Yeah, well, I thought Tony Soprano. It's very appropriate, okay? This obviously is the adjuster. You what? You're making a claim?
What we're hoping will happen is that the 2020s, the Datelines of the world will pick up on this, because what's happening, these mortgage companies are literally using their muscle, their financial muscle, to tie up money that's really not theirs, to get interest and use whatever excuses are out there. And I'm telling you what the members are writing in and are saying, and this is basically what's going on.
I'm not sending a check of $340,000
Right.
to you.
Right.
When you need to send it back to me.
Right.
All you need to do, I'm not looking for a draw.
Right.
We're complete with the job.
Right.
All he needs to do is sign it and send it back.
Right.
I'll sign a lien waiver.
Right.
But he won't even do that. He says, we will not schedule an inspection until the check is in our possession, endorsed, we deposit it. And I'm like, what is the reason for this? He said, well, it could be a bad check. I'm like, what do you care? It's my flipping check.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's...
Yeah, well, I would obviously, are you from North Carolina also?
Yes.
Okay. You all three need to get together and find a great attorney up there. And, yeah, but that's when I would get an attorney involved. If it was me, I would write them a letter and say, provide in writing the clause in your mortgage contract that says I have to submit this money to you before you can even schedule an inspection. If that's their process, they need to inspect it.
I'll tell you something about other states. Harvey I was here for his presentation this morning. He's pretty modest, and he's not going to toot his own horn, but he is the hammer in Florida. And the list of referring attorneys that he was talking about, it's in my book in one of the chapters, and I've gotten feedback from people like you who have utilized that list. Has been very favorable. So when he says he's got a list with referring attorneys, I mean, I think it's a very valuable asset, and I think you said the list is available elsewhere. You don't have to buy my book, but his list is pretty solid.